Hi, welcome to my Make and Create for November / card and a Cuppa. It's the 26th of November 2025. My name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, so welcome. Now I'm just going to double check. I have gone live. It looks like I'm live, but I've set it up so that I get an email saying, yep, I'm live. So, hi Elizabeth. Thanks for joining us. I don't know what it's like down your way, Elizabeth, but it's been so hot here today, about 36 or 37, and we've just had a really wild thunderstorm go through. So there's debris all over the road. So hopefully it's cooled it down a little bit. I'll just have a look. Don't know if it has. Let me see on my weather app. No, 32. We're still running at 32. Windy and cold down there. Good Lord. Well, we're still running at 32 degrees. Tomorrow's not going to be much better. Anyway, I was hoping that that storm might have eased it up a little bit, but no. So welcome to today's Card and a Cuppa Make and Create. Hi, Margaret. Now, my Make and Create is if you purchase from me during the month of October and your order was over $50. Hi Marilyn. You get a little card pack in the mail and we make a card on the last Wednesday. Generally it's the last Wednesday of the month. So those who ordered from me in October will have got a card pack, and hopefully Australia Post didn't let me down. I do know one lady got hers, so she's local. I think they're all local pretty much. Oh no, one's out near Scone. Anyway, hoping, fingers crossed, they all got them. I still have two ladies in Queensland waiting for their card class from last weekend to arrive. So if that doesn't arrive by the end of the week, I'll cut up another one. 35 here, Margaret. Yeah, that's what it's here. It is here too. We've dropped. We've gone down to 32 since that storm rolled through. Anyway, I guess we've got to expect it. It is summer next week. So today we're going to create, it is a Christmas card, and I suppose you could be all getting a bit sick of Christmas cards. I don't know. I sort of make so many holiday cards that by the time it's getting close to Christmas, we're all over it. But anyway, this is week 9 of 12 weeks of Christmas. So we do only have 3 more weeks of 12 weeks of Christmas, but then there is 1 more week till Christmas. So this will be finishing on the Wednesday before Christmas. So don't panic that you think there's only 3 weeks to Christmas. There are 4. Even though I was at the shops this morning and the carols were blaring and everything was very Christmassy, it's all happening out there. So it is a Christmas card, and it is using a non-Christmas stamp set, but you can make it Christmas. And things from the mini catalogue and the online exclusives range. So don't forget, there is the Black Friday sale running at the moment. It started yesterday and runs to the 1st of December, and there's 40% off selected products. Some of those products have sold out, I believe, so you have to be quick. So quite often with these Black Friday sales, you have to be quick. You have to be like first cab out of the rank. Anyway, jump on and see what else is still available, because there's stuff always still available. So let's go down to the craft desk and we can start creating. Okay, so here we are. So we are going to be playing with the Branching Out bundle, and it's in the mini catalogue. So it's the bundle with these wonderful dies, which are great standalone dies. If you just want the dies, you can use them. None of them cut any of the stamp set out, but the stamp set's beautiful anyway. Hi Joan, thanks for joining us. But the dies alone are really good. So if you wanted to just get the dies, they are $51. I don't think they're on the Black Friday sales, but I'm not sure. Don't hold me to anything. The stamp set is a beautiful stamp set, and it's not really Christmas. The only one you can really use for Christmas is From Our Family to Yours. So the rest of it, wishing you a day filled with many happy moments, thinking of you brings joy to my heart, happiest birthday wishes. So it's not specifically a Christmas set. We are going to use the Big Merry Christmas from the traditional label set, which is obviously specifically Christmas. And we are going to use this paper that's in the online exclusive range called Elegant Pine Snowflakes 12x12 DSP. That's really nice paper, and it really works quite well. Even though there's no snowflakes, it works really well with the branching out stamp set. So let's pop that down here. We can have a look at the paper in the online exclusives range. So it did come out in the September release of online exclusives, and it goes with the Elegant Pine Snowflake Suite collection. So it is a snowflake stamp set and dies, and there's faceted snowflake gems and the shaded spruce and gold ribbon. I only got the paper because that's what I wanted. But after today being 35 degrees, we don't do snowflakes at Christmas here in Australia, not where I live. And so I don't tend to do snowflakes for Christmas because it's just so foreign to us here. So that's the paper we're using. And even though some of the sides of the paper are very sort of snowflakey, you can get away with it because the other sides aren't. So you can always work the paper to suit yourself. And in here, now I've got something labelled, but it won't be what I'm wanting. Oh look, it is. So that's the traditional label stamp set we're going to use. And the branching out set is up the back here somewhere. Up the back, I'm sure. Maybe, oh, there it is. So that's a bundle. So remember, when you buy a bundle, when they're first released as a bundle, you do save 10% if you get the stamps and dies together. But as I said, the dies alone are really good dies. So if you can't afford the bundle or you just want the dies, you can certainly buy the dies by themselves. So that's what we're going to be using. So let's have a look at our card. I've made 2 samples. And I haven't really followed a sketch. I've just sort of, I mean, there are probably lots of sketches out there like this. I've got a bracelet on that's jingling on my on my glass mat, and I didn't think about that. Sorry. So this one's using the traditional Christmas Designer Series paper. And I've just heat embossed the Merry Christmas. Let's bring it up. Hi, Sharon. Ohio, USA. What's the weather like in Ohio? We're here in Australia and we have a very hot day where I am. It's 35 degrees. I don't know what that is Fahrenheit. I'd have to change my weather app. Let me have a look and tell you what that is in Fahrenheit. How do I do that? Let me look. Fahrenheit. 90 degrees. That's what it is here in Fahrenheit. And we've just had a thunderstorm roll through, and I thought that would cool us down, but it has not. It is still 32 degrees. So I hope you got your cuppa. I've got my iced water today. So chilly 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I've got to try and do a 44. So if we're 90 Fahrenheit, so you're probably about 16 or 17 degrees Celsius today. Isn't that funny how we can be so different all over the country and on the other side of the world? So yeah, traditional Christmas Designer Series paper, which is back in stock, and these are the branching out dies and the mesh gold striped ribbon from the Celebratory Sips Suite collection, and the traditional the sequins in the traditional Christmas Suite collection. And I've just used the branching out dies, layered them together, and these dies here. You've got a nice hot cup, Elizabeth. So what's the temperature down there in Victoria, country Victoria? How fascinating. I've got iced water. There's no hot drink happening here today. And then the same card, just using different products, and I've used the Elegant Snowflakes, or what's it called? Elegant Pine Snowflakes Designer Series paper for this one. Oh, so you're not even on to the 26th of November yet, Sharon. We're in front of you. Well, it would be cold because it's nighttime now. And just did the same sort of matting onto our branching out dies. I've used all these dies to create our little whoosh in the corner and heat emboss the Merry Christmas. And once again, I've just trimmed up the inside. Sorry, that's too high. 17. So you've got pretty much the same temperature as Sharon does in Ohio. You're 17 degrees Celsius. You like the layout? I mean, you could do, this could be a sketch. You could use this as a sketch. But I've just used the dies to create this one. Because with my online classes and make and create day, I have to do things that requires no stamping because I can't mail out anything stamped. So that's why you're going to do your own sentiment down here for those who've got a little card pack. But everything else I can send out. So you've always got to decorate the inside of your card. So that's what we're going to do today. And I've just done 2 samples. I'm going to do this one. So I'll put that one up here and put that one here. And I have got my phone on silent, which is always a good thing. Okay, let's put the bag over there. So we have got a whole lot of stuff. So if you've got a kit, just be careful when you open it up that things don't fall everywhere. And we've got a card base, shaded spruce card base, and it's 21 centimeters. No, it's not. It's 10 and a, what is it? It's 10.5 centimeters. No, it's not. It's 14.9 centimeters wide by 21 centimeters long, scored at 10.5 centimeters. That's all imperial because that's what we talk here most of the time. And then you will have a piece of your embossed designer series paper. And you can use whichever side. If you're crafting along with me or you've got your card pack and you're going to make it later, you can use whichever side you like. Now technically that is a snowflake, but you can't really see that, and we're going to be covering most of it up, so you're just going to see the greenery. If you prefer this side, if you've got this paper, actually I think you'll all have this paper, and I've just gone ahead with the one with the snowflake on it. I think you're going to have this piece. I think that's the one I cut up for everybody. So that's got that on the back, which does look snowflakey. So if you prefer, use whichever side you like. I didn't want to use up all this on my last card, so I'm using the one with the snowflake that is going to be mostly covered up. And then you will have, now everybody who got sent a pack will have a solid piece of gold foil. You won't have a die cut out in the middle. You will have, that will be all one piece. I've done mine like this to show you how you can save your gold foil and be a little bit frugal with it by cutting another die cut in the middle and using that for something else, because then this die cut can go over the top and nobody's going to know that you've got a gaping hole in your gold foil. Only you, and you know, if you tell people. And then you've used that centerpiece of your foil and cut another die cut out that you can use on another project. So that's just a little tip. If you're not worried about saving your foil, you don't want to do that, you certainly don't have to. But those who've got a card pack, their gold foil piece will be all one piece and won't have a cut out middle. Because I know some people don't like that. Now, I did this one with just a solid piece of gold, and therefore I have layered my white on top and I have put my gold up on dimensionals. When you do cut out the center of your gold piece of foil, it makes it harder to layer it on top and then stick it up on dimensionals, because you've only got a little tiny border where you can stick your white piece on top. So this time round I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to layer that down but you've got a solid piece, so you can choose. And then I will put this one on dimensionals but layer it on top, whereas this one I've put the solid piece of gold and I've adhered the white cardstock straight down and put dimensionals under the whole backing of the gold. I'm going to do it slightly different because I've cut a center out. You like this tip? Well, some people don't like wasting their foil, and some people don't think it's a waste, so that's okay. But if you want to save your foil and get another piece for another project, that's a good way of doing it. Just means you have to juggle how you adhere it to your card matting piece. That's the only thing. So let's put this onto our card base, a piece of paper onto our card base. So if you've got dies and you've got your gold piece of foil and you want to save a bit of the middle, well, you can go ahead and cut a square or a circle or a rectangle out of the middle of it before you make the card. But some people don't mind. There we go. That's, whoopsie, blue spurtage. Okay, so that's our matting piece, which was 10 centimeters by 14.4 on our card base. I could probably put this down next, and I'm going to, because I'm going to do this flat onto my card base. But if you want to do it on dimensionals, you certainly can, because you've got a solid piece. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Foam strips. Oh yes, you could do foam strips. I've just put glue all over it though. You could do foam strips. Never thought of that. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. So I'm going to just put that down like so. And when you're using the foils, just be careful when you're using your glue or your sticky gummy adhesive. It can sort of detract from your foil if you get it on the foil. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to put this one then up on dimensionals. But I'm going to do some working with this first. See, this sample I did cut. Whoops, I didn't take the back off this dimensional, that's why it's not stuck. I took the center out of this one. So I've stuck the gold foil down flat and I've put this white piece up on dimensionals. See, I think I did that on purpose to show you. And you see, you don't know that there's a hole in that piece of gold foiling underneath. So I've got the white up on dimensionals, the gold foil flat on this sample. On this one, this was a solid piece of gold, so therefore I've stuck my white on top and popped the whole panel up with dimensionals. I think foam strips is a good tip. Okay, so you'll have all your little die cuts, and I think I might do my heat embossing first. And you don't have to heat emboss. Actually, let's not heat emboss. Let's do shaded spruce. Or is it pretty peacock? Why do I get those two mixed up? I do all the time. Pretty peacock. We're not going to heat emboss our sentiment today. We're just going to use pretty peacock. And I think I shall get my stamps ready and do that. So let me just, oops, get a block out and my Merry Christmas. And normally I stamp this one separately. I think I just put that upside down. No, I didn't. But I'm just going to see what this looks like if I do it like this. That's the way. Is that the way I like it? No. I want it more over this way. So you can do it one at a time, but I am trying to sort of get it on my block so that I just do one image. Let me get a scrap of paper. Where's a scrap of paper? Where are you, scrap of paper? Here we go. Okay, let's move our white piece over, and I'll just stamp this and see if I like the way it's going to look. And if I want to get it closer, I think that's not that close. I might try and get it a little bit closer if I can. That's the thing, when you put them on the block together, you just have to try and jiggle them around a bit to get them closer. Now hopefully we won't have any birds, gardening equipment, noisy cars today, because my window is actually closed because I've got the air conditioning on. I think that's all right, so let's go with that. Ever thought of it being a shaded spruce, but so true. Shaded, no, this one is Pretty Peacock, isn't it? I'm sure it's Pretty Peacock. Yeah, this one's Pretty Peacock. I just get those two muddled up. I don't know why. Okay, so let's put our card here and move my little thing up, my little banner up. And you could use any die cuts. You don't necessarily have to use the branching out dies. You could use the everyday arches. You could use anything, any kind of dies you've got. So I'm just going to place that down there, which is nice. So, and you don't have to, yeah, they're similar shades, they are, and I just get I get confused. Maybe it should be Shaded Peacock and Pretty Spruce. No. Okay, I'll close that up for the moment and pop that there. So that's that done. Now then you've got all your, let me shut that, get this open. You've got your branching out dies. So I've cut 2 of these ones, 2 of these, and 3 of these pine cones. So you should have 2, 2, and 3. So 2 will be in Pretty Peacock. And we're just going to pop that out. And this one's got one too. Now the sun's come out. You never know, we just had this huge thunderstorm. And this one's going to go here, but we are going to do some surgery on it to make it fit nicely. Then we've got 2 of the cherries, well, the berries. Not really cherries, are they? They're berries. And 3 of the pine cones in gold. Alright, let's put the first one on, and we are going to hang them over a little bit to start off with, because then we can sort of make it like bunched up, and then we can go back and trim. So I'm just going to use, you can use glue dots or you can use some glue, whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to put a few little spots on it, like so. And if I can pick it up, turn it over, and I'm going to hang it off, but I'll come back and cut any branches that are hanging off. I'll cut them off. I'm just going to push that down like so. And then this one, I'm going to do some real surgery on it and cut here. And this one's going to go up high. So I'm going to put it there. It's just a matter of playing and placing, and this one's going to come down. Now I might put this one on first and put the shorter one over the top. So let me just put some glue on the back of him. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put him coming down a little bit lower to fill up the space. There we go. And then we've got the short one. And we're going to get him up. You never thought about our Christmas being in the summer. Yeah, a winter Christmas to us would be very strange and very foreign. Very, very foreign. I've never, I've never had a white Christmas, ever. I wouldn't mind experiencing one, but yeah, I haven't had a white Christmas. Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to cut yet because we've got our berries. And we're going to put them all focused into the corner as well. And let me just work out where I want those. I think that looks pretty good. And let me get my glue. My daughter experienced a white Christmas when she lived in America. She was living in Philadelphia and stayed with a girl who lived in Syracuse for Christmas. And she thought it was amazing. It was blizzards and all sorts of things going on outside. And she thought, this is weird. Okay, so let me just hold that down because I didn't glue everything, so I'm just holding that down. And this friend that she stayed with, they had a basement. Well, most American houses seem to have a basement, and that was the wrapping room. So she said it was just amazing. They had all the wrapping paper down there in the basement, and that's where all the presents got wrapped. How fun is that? Well, I think that's funny because we don't really have basements here in Australia. Okay, so I'm going to just press that one down. So it's just a matter of piecing all your little... Come stay with you in Ohio. That'd be nice. Okay, so that's that. Now, these little pine cones have got text. I don't know if you can see it. Will I hold it up on this? Maybe you can see it better. Whoop. Oh, now it's sticking to my fingers. They've got little textures and they've still got little die cuts in them. Not really, but if you put glue on the back of them, the glue does spurt through the little die holes. So I don't advise doing glue on the back of your pine cones. I advise glue dots because you don't want glue spurtage. Okay, so our Christmases are very summery and very beachy sort of related. And I'm just going to put a pine cone here. And this one, what's that? And a pine glue dot on the back of our pine cone. Our daughter and her husband and our little granddaughter, who's now 10 months old, they had their Santa photos done last weekend, and it was at the beach. So Santa was on a bench, a wooden bench. They all sat on a wooden bench next to Santa, and it was on the beach, so they're all in bare feet and sand between their toes. And let me think, this one should go this way. I think I'm going to put this one. I think if I do this one too close to the edge, oh, that doesn't really matter because it's going to, yeah, no, I can do it too close to the edge. So they're very cute photos. Okay, so let's, yeah, they're very cute photos. I haven't shared them yet because my daughter hasn't shared them, so I don't do anything for fear of getting into trouble. No, I wait until they do something and then I think, okay, well, they've put it out there, so I can too. Okay, so that is a panel all decorated, and we're going to just put it up here. Now I am going to do dimensionals. Could do foam strips, but I think foam strips would be better if you were trying to put this down and raise it. But I'm going to do this on dimensionals. I don't want to do those ones. I do use my edges, but I don't want to today. So I'm just going to put 5 dimensionals on. I know, Elizabeth, and she's walking. Wobbly, but she's walking. Wobbly walking. Wobbly walking. I know. Where has that? She was born on the 9th of January, so yeah, she's 10 months old. Okay, so now I'm just going to layer it over my gold foil die cut. And if you're crafting along, your foil piece is all one piece, but I showed you how you can die cut a piece out and use it for something else. And just going to pop that there. And I haven't heat embossed my sentiment this time. She's now 18. Oh, wow, Sharon. Oh, my little possum's a long way off being 18. Okay, so that's with it heat embossed in gold. This is with the Pretty Peacock ink. So now on this one, I got the black and gold and the white and gold baker's twine. And I did a double bow. Can you see the double bow? And in your little pack, if you've got a pack, you will have quite a length of this, quite a long piece to do a double bow. If you don't want to do a double bow, you don't have to. And if you've got other gold ribbon, you can certainly use that on your card. But I'm going to give it a try to do a double bow with the baker's twine. These things never work in real life. But anyway, let's give it a whirl. So I do get quite a long piece. And I'm just going to double it over. And that was a text message coming. Oh, see, I've got distracted. Text message coming in. It's just like tying a normal bow, but then you've got to work out which ones are your tails. So you've obviously got these as your tails, so that's that side, but this one is going to be your tails for the other side of the bow. Does that make sense? And then you just pull them down and cut them. So the loop, it's a little bit confusing at first because you sort of think I've got 3 loops, which loop am I working with? But yeah, you cut one of the loops because that becomes the 2 tails. Okay, so that's our double bow, and I will cut them shorter. So I'm going to get a glue dot again and put it right, oops, now I'm stuck. Put it right here. In fact, I might put 2 glue dots there just to be on the safe side and make sure they stick. My little bow is going to stick to it. And then with the big knot, because you've done a double bow, you've got a bigger knot to contend with. And if you want to make one of the loops a little bit smaller than the other one, just pull that tail and make that loop a little bit smaller, and this, no, I want this one smaller. And then your bow can look a bit more, I don't know, a bit more fancy. That's the word I'll look for. No, that's not the one I want. I want this one. Okay, now I'm just going to grab my tails and contain them. No, I don't like that. I'm going to pull that back out a bit. And pull that one out. It's just a matter of tweaking your bows, any bows, whether it's baker's twine or ribbon. And get my tails. And I'm just going to put that big knot on top of that glue dot. Okay, now my tails are way too long. I don't know, Elizabeth. I have no idea. Let me have a look what's in my little baker's twine. So currently the white baker's twine comes like this, in with all the others. So what colour? It doesn't even say. It's probably in the catalogue. You've got white, you've got, I think it's very vanilla. I've got another one in here because there's only 5 in the pack. Crumb cake, I think it's smoky slate, and I think it's basic black. I'm pretty sure there's only 5 in the standard pack of baker's twine. Let me have a look. I've got a new pack somewhere in my drawer here, if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. This is a pack of baker's twine essentials pack. So yeah, so you've got, looks like basic grey, black, vanilla, white and crumb cake. That's how it's sold. I've probably put something else in there from a kit. I don't know whether they'll ever bring it back by itself. Probably not, because these are all sort of neutral colours and they can work with everything. A designer series bow. A designer series bow. There you go. Okay, so now I'm going to cut my tails. And I'm going to make one tail a little bit shorter than the other tail. Just because I can. And, you know, some people might think that's a waste. But, you know, you can only do so much saving of this stuff. I saved on the gold foil on my card. I don't keep those. That's not worth keeping. Okay, now you could use the traditional labels. No, what is it called? Where are they? Where are they? You could use the sequins on this card, the gold sequins, if you wanted to. But I quite like the flower accents from the Kintsugi. Ah, good night, Sharon. Sleep well. You're very welcome. I like the gold flower accents from the Kintsugi Inspiration Suite from the annual catalogue. So I'm going to use those, and I didn't heat emboss, so it doesn't. If you don't want to use gold, you don't have to. But I think with the gold pine cones and the gold foil, I think the gold works. And I am going to put a big one down here. These are really pretty. A little one here, and a little one up here maybe. Now maybe I'll put that one there. See, I can never place my accents very well. No, I don't like that. I just play around, don't I? That'll do. What's it matter? It's not a big thing. Okay, so now I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock as an insert. Where is it? Just one piece. I only need one piece. And I'm going to grab my paper. So what did I do on this one? I've just put a strip. Let me see if I've got a strip of anything in my paper here. I normally put all my scraps into a Ziploc sandwich bag, but I haven't done that yet. Let's see, what's this one? I could use this one. Cut that one down. What's this one? No, I don't like that one. Okay, let's just cut that one down. Okay, let's grab, put the glue dots away, move this over. And I could go down the side, but I'm not going to because it's not quite long enough. So I'm going to go 1.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and I'm going to put it across the bottom. Okay. So then I'm going to get my glue and put it on my insert. I'll remember not to wear this bracelet on my videos in future, because it's just jingle jangling. Oh, did I not make that long enough? Look at that. I'm going to trim my piece of, I'm sure I did that 10 centimeters. Okay, let's just take a little wisp off and make it work. There you go. You can always fix things. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to stamp before I stick. Remember that motto I have. So I'm going to get rid of my Merry Christmas off the front, off my block. So we've got Merry Christmas on the front, and we can put what can we put? What can we use? Sending love and joy. That's a nice one. I like that one. Sending love and joy on the inside. So let's ink that up. and bring that over. I'm going to put it in the middle. Sending love and joy. How nice. Oopsie. What's going on? There's still a few clouds outside, so I don't think the storm has completely gone away. I wonder if it's going to come back. So just put your insert into your card. And always stamp something or add some paper to your envelope. Never send out a naked envelope or a naked insert. Have something on them because it's important. There we go. That's our card. So if you've been making along with me, I hope you've enjoyed that. Little piece left over. So remember that little tip. If you want to save some foil, cut a center out and use that for another project. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. Really simple. And this is just with different papers, different colors, different papers. But don't they look different? Like when you, let's do this. When you use the same design for the card, but you use different products, they can take on a totally different look. So I hope you enjoyed that. So let me just see if I can come back to me. Where am I? I'm here somewhere. Is that me? That's me. So that's our make and create for today. So let's see if I can get it so that you can see it. Sometimes with gold it gets a bit funny. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that, and it's week 9 of 12 weeks of Christmas. So enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the lead up to Christmas, because it's certainly... No, I haven't yet, Marilyn. Let me show you. These are my designs. I use the celebratory sips for my calendars, for 10 of my calendars. I can't get the angle right. I was thinking of using, I'll show you a sneak peek. I was thinking of using, this is a sneak peek from the January catalogue. It's called Shell Collection, and it's a reversible stamp set. So I was thinking of maybe having a little play with that and using that on the next lot of 10. So we'll see how we go. Haven't played with any sneak peeks or anything from the January catalogue and January online exclusives. I'm sort of getting to the point, I'll keep doing Christmas cards on Wednesdays. I might throw in a few different ones on Mondays leading up to Christmas. Who knows? So thank you for watching me and watching this video, and I hope you like our card. And don't forget, the Black Friday sale is running until the 1st of December. If you need any products, there's up to 40% off a lot of products. So keep that in mind. And I'm always happy to have an online order, or if you need me any help with an order, I'm happy to help you out. So just reach out. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next Monday for Make It Monday. Bye for now.